Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the area as a capability, which is a part of cloud security as well as cloud security assessment as well, right? So this falls under the cloud security, and many organizations who do work and help clients as well as internal teams and different projects to do the different security reviews, right? Now, what type of security reviews includes? It is going to be a cloud security assessments as well as cloud security configuration reviews as well as assessments, right? So now this video, I'm going to talk and explain about a configuration review, right? So what level of configuration is going to be expected and how configuration review is going to happen, right? Now, this is going to be something different and totally depends on the organizations, right? Each organization follows different ways and different paths to be completing the configuration reviews, but it is going to be the same and similar to each and every organization. And also, this configuration review is in context of cloud security, right? Now, if we have to do it in the same for on-premises or hybrid environment, that means it's going to be the same, but in the context of hybrid or on-premises environment. Because if we are doing it for the on-premises, that means we are going to look into the all the underlying infrastructure that has been built, that has been configured, and how that is configured in order to protect the services, application systems, and data and networking and everything together, right? But in the cloud context, we all know cloud is hosted somewhere, but still, as we all know, the cloud is been following and is followed by the said responsibility model, right? That means there is a lot to configure and set up appropriately with we as a cloud service user, right? And as a customer. But cloud service provider, they do also have some of the responsibility to take care of those underlying infrastructure, including data center networking, power, and all other different physical security aspects of it, right? Now, those are the things that they will take care, but we as a customer and user of the services, we should be able to take appropriate actions, right? Now, actions including configuring it appropriately in terms of providing right set of access levels to different users, different projects, different teams, be it within the cloud solution or outside the cloud platform, right? So, basis on that, it's going to be something we wanted to provide and let people access all those resources, right? So, just a minute here. All right. So let me share my screen here and I'll walk you through how we should go ahead and do the configuration review, right? And how configuration review looks like, right? So it is going to be something like this one. Let me share it quickly here. And perfect. So I'm going to walk you through a step by step, which is a PowerPoint presentation, right? And that's going to be something, I think it's not going on presentation mode. So let me enable that one first and then reshare the screen again. All right. So you can see that the topic is all about configuration reviews, right? So now this is in context of pure cloud environment, right? So which is going to be a service specific reviews ensuring cloud resources are securely configured, right? So I have put it very simple so that anyone can understand and is easy and straightforward to know and learn, and is main important part of this is to understand it, right? And if you know what is it, that means you are able to understand and grasp it, right? So let's walk one by one here and you can know and learn about it. So first is IAM reviews, right? So identity access management review. So IAM is something which is a central service, which is a centralized capability for cloud, right? And which is in global service in context of any cloud provider, be it AWS, Azure, or GCP, right? If you are going to spin up any capability or any service within cloud platform, it's going to be simply used across all those respective services, right? And that is why I have mentioned few topics or few areas where we can limit down the global admin or administrator accounts who has highly privileged permissions across the cloud platform, so that we don't want that to be exposed to the bad actors, right? And even we know we are going to deploy multi-factor authentication to factor authentication along with the conditional access policies and the policies across the cloud platform, not to be able to access any applications or any identity easily, but still we don't want to keep anything unconfigured or is not correctly configured so that it might get easily catch up and catch hold by the bad actors, right? And that is why we wanted to limit it as well as protect the highly privileged accounts along with end user accounts as well. Then blocking the legacy protocols, that's something we can simply take actions and not allow. And there are some of the exceptions as well where we would wanted to let legacy protocol be used across hybrid scenarios when we have hybrid or on-premises applications which are integrated with the cloud platform, and we wanted to make sure let them used and let the business run on it. Because of that, we cannot directly migrate or do the modernization because of there's a dependency of the business on that respective systems and applications, and that is why we wanted to let that legacy protocols be used for some time, right? And I have seen that many organizations are now moving out of those legacy systems and do the modernization across the cloud, which is a completely modern authentication and everything. Conditional access policies is one of the modern way of doing security, right? Deploying it appropriately across all the capabilities of IAM, including users, devices, service accounts, applications, and all the integrations. Those are built with the cloud platform, including hybrid one as well. Also, we would be deploying and making sure zero trust is also part of this one, and zero trust is under and is falling under conditional access policies when we are going to deploy it correctly, right? So that's going to be the one as well. Let's move to the next one, storage reviews, right? So how we can review the storage accounts and storage capabilities or storage services, right? Where we wanted to block public access to all the storage accounts and storages wherever it is integrated with. Also enable the encryption and logging so that we get to know and see whether data is encrypted at rest and during transit as well. And there is a login as well when any activity is happening across the storage and data is being moved across the systems. And versioning for ransomware protection. So that's the one of the way that we can also put and enabled for such scenario wherein there is a kind of activity which we really don't want it to put in place, or maybe when we don't configure the right set of configurations and policies, then it might be impacting the organizations. And that is why the right set of storage reviews or right set of reviews are very important, right? So let's move to the next one, which is a compute review, right? So compute review is something which is going to ensure that OS patching and endpoint protections are enabled and configured appropriately, along with the disk encryption and no hard-coded secrets are deployed or made available on those endpoints, right? So what does this mean is that whenever we are deploying any applications on the systems, be it Windows-based or Linux-based applications, but still we don't want it to those hard-coded secrets and endpoints and everything together are deployed on those systems. Instead, we would have to put those in a secret locations, something like KMS, key management services, right? In Azure context, Azure key vaults, right? So those are the areas or services from where we would be fetching out those secrets and let the service run behind the scenes across the compute engines or computing systems like virtual machines in the context of infrastructure as a service. And in the platform as a service context, it could be any other service like Azure Logic Apps, or it could be Kubernetes or containers, right? Or it could be Lambda functions as well, right? So those are the services which we can be integrating with and can be used. The next one is network reviews, which is something is very important when we are doing uh, different level of architectures, right? Different level of configurations across the cloud, and networking is the one. Without it, nothing is going to be possible to work on, right? For example, if you have integrated or deployed a server and you wanted to deploy an application, you deployed it, but you wanted to get the access of that application over the public internet, right? But without networking capabilities, you won't be able to get the access to that application, right? So you need to put a different layers on it, including authentication layer as well as um, implementing the right set of encryption of it on the top of that respective authentication and accessibility. And then behind that capability, you'd be hosting the application and database and whatever the architecture is going to be it one tier, two tier, or three tier architecture, right? So basis on that, it is going to be making available and is going to work as. Now, these are the few of the areas I have mentioned here: hardening firewall rules, no default security groups to be used because those are the default ones and which might be exposing the right or exposing the applications and protocols and connectivity to the respective workloads, right? And then private connectivity, including VPN and express routes can be used to be able to protect and provide the right set of access levels to the respective services and workloads only, right? The next one is database review, where we would be enforcing encryptions and TLS enforced across the connectivity, be it within cloud or outside cloud as well. No public access backups are enabled in order to protect the data and accessibility and everything together. And threat protections is also enabled so that there is no threats, or even if there are threats coming out or coming into the systems, those are being protected from the threats, and it's not easy to gain access to those systems, and it's not been given to anyone, right? So these are the capabilities that we can go ahead and start with. And there are so many when it comes to the data and databases, including networking and everything together, because as we all know, in the cloud systems or cloud platforms, there are three major areas where we would have to at least build that capability and protect those systems, including computing, including everything as in if you host infrastructure as services or platform as services, then you need to make sure underlying infrastructure is built and made sure it is secure. Similarly, the networking and storage, right? So these are the three areas where you need to make sure everything is safe and secure. And that is why the these access reviews or configuration reviews are going to help and make sure we are intact with security and not allowing anything unwanted. The next is logging and monitoring, where we wanted to make sure logging and monitoring is put in place and is at centralized logging from where we can see the alerts for failed logins and privilege escalations and defined retention policies as well, right? Wherein we wanted to retain a data for a particular period and that data is going to be available for access for the businesses or business across, right? Whenever that is needed, right? And not only for a business, but there are different requirements as well where we wanted to meet the compliance and regulatory requirements as well, wherein we wanted to put that data available or keep that data available for a particular duration, maybe 3, 5, 9, or more than that years period as well. And there are some of the deliverables I have mentioned here as a part of configuration reviews where we would be creating configuration review checklist, which is going to be, of course, for per service across the cloud platform as well, right? Wherein we would have to put a remediation sit with status of each, right? Whether we were able to do the configuration review successfully. If yes, what are the statuses of each? Whether those are configured appropriately. If yes, then what is the next step? If not, then how you can go ahead and remediate those things, those capabilities, how you can go ahead and take the appropriate actions, right? And then there are different tools for the outputs, including Defender for Cloud, Provals, and Scout Suite, right? And then prioritize action plans. So this is going to be something wherein once you have the deliverable for configuration reviews, then you can go ahead and take the actions one by one and make sure it is configured, it is taken appropriately, and everything is configured access or as expected, right? So this is how it is going to be, right? So yep, that is what I wanted to show you and talk about it, and hope you will like it. Hope you will learn something new, and let me know if you have any questions, any doubts, anything that you wanted to talk about, and happy to answer those questions and collaborate on anything that you wanted to know, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. Don't forget to like this video, share it to the friends and people around you, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well so that you get to see every new video available on the channel. So yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.